this is that Ruger Super Blackhawk, and you've seen me shoot this before. Great gun, great caliber. I like the grips are slightly bigger than the Blackhawk, but the thing I don't like is that squared off trigger guard that tends to whack that knuckle under recoil. And I do have kind of big hands, and that's kind of something I've had to deal with. But what I have now, I picked up a Blackhawk grip frame, and check this out. There's a magnet. It's steel, so it's not like the alloy that you see on a regular Blackhawk. There's a steel grip frame, and I'm going to swap these two out, and we'll see how we like it. We'll take it to the range, and we'll shoot them and see if I like this any better. For most guns, I'll use my big gunsmithing screwdriver set, and it's got, what is there, like 80 something bits here, and you'll find the right one for each screw. I'm going to try to remove the screws here on the Super Blackhawk. Normally, I just, like I said, find the appropriate screw bit. Well, I work on Blackhawk so much, I went and got a set that comes with these 3 screwdrivers, and these 3 are fitted to exactly match the screws on that Super Blackhawk. So these are going to fit perfect. They're sized just specifically to this gun. In fact, on here was that RSA, so is that Ruger single action. This so all your Ruger single action screws. This is Ruger single action 1, 2, and Ruger single action 3. So I've got screwdrivers specifically for working on Ruger single actions. That way you don't bugger up the screw heads, and when you put the gun back together, it looks like it was never taken apart. All right, first thing, we'll use that special Ruger single action screwdriver to remove the grip frame. Just this one screw. This isn't very difficult. You guys have probably done this yourself, or you've seen it in your owner's manual. Take that grip panel off. We'll kind of poke that bottom one out. So now we'll set those aside. Here's a real quick one. You can see the size of that Super Blackhawk grip frame, and we'll lay a Blackhawk grip frame over it. And there is about a 1/4 inch difference. It's a little bit wider, a little bit taller. So we're swapping for a smaller grip. I know you're thinking, Johnny, you have those big hands. Why do you want a smaller grip? And it's to avoid that darn thing poking me in the finger. All right, we're going to try the Ruger Blackhawk grips on this big Super Blackhawk. All right, let's cock the hammer. We'll take our pin, we'll set it in this little hole down here so we can capture that spring. And then now we've got that spring captured. There's no tension on it, no tension on the hammer. Now we've removed this grip frame without losing that big recoil spring, or that main spring. Just going to remove these grip frame screws. Set them out in the same order that we removed them. It's nice having screwdrivers that are fit specifically or exactly to the screws, not only in the width of the blade, but also the thickness, so I'm not scratching the metal around the screw. So I'm not harming the screw head, and I'm not screwing up the grip frame either. In fact, this screw looks like it's been out of here before. It's got a little bugger mark on it. Someone else has taken this gun apart in its lifetime. This gun was built, I believe, in 1986 or thereabouts. So it's probably had some work done to it at some point, or somebody's played with it. And I'll just kind of separate the grip frame. There we go. All right. So now we've got our Super Blackhawk grip frame, and we're just going to swap parts now with the Blackhawk grip frame. before I put this back together and put just a dot of lithium grease on the end of that hammer spring. Now you grease all over me. And now it's going to put the two back together. Should be quick. Don't want to mess with my spring. Push the trigger spring behind the trigger. Here we go. Let's put our screws back in the order we took them out. Just reversing the order on everything. Just kind of snug that for now. We'll come back and tighten these once all the five are in place. That one, it looks like it's been buggered up a little bit already. Trying to make it any worse. I'm just holding the grip frame tight so it doesn't come apart. A couple of springs in there. So these screws are going right in. What's the problem with that other one? This is the long one. This is what holds that pivot pin in. Just gonna get these kind of snug for now. And this last one, this front screw, we'll see how we like this grip frame. Now I have other Ruger Blackhawks. I already am familiar with the frame. Just with this big 7.5 inch barrel and the big solid round cylinder. This gun's a little heavier than most of your Blackhawks. All right, so we got all five in. Let's go back, kind of snug these up. This is the one we had the trouble with. The head's a little funny on that one. And hit that front one more time. All right, so they're all snugged up. All right, we can cock this hammer, remove that pin. Now we're back to live. So what I've got, we'll find out which, this Super Blackhawk grip frame, this grip panel is gonna be way too big. All right, so we're gonna go with a Blackhawk grip panels. All right, and I have several to choose from. And what I can do is I can experiment and find out which one's going to fit this revolver the best. No, that's also looks like a Super Blackhawk. I'll set that aside. Here's a Blackhawk grip panels. That fits on there kind of nice. Get a little bit of that panel's a little proud. Get a little bit of a lip there. Not exactly a great fit. We'll go back to this pair here. See how these fit. This, a little bit of a overlap. Not much. That's probably the best fitting grip panels I've got. So now we've got a Ruger Super Blackhawk with a Blackhawk grip frame. All right, we set down that grip screw. It'll be the last thing we put back in there. So now, Snug that up. So now I've got a Ruger Blackhawk with a Super Blackhawk hammer and trigger, or I can say I got a Ruger Super Blackhawk with a Blackhawk grip. I kind of like the feel of that, and no more whacking that finger of mine. Nice. There we go. My 7.5 inch Ruger Super Blackhawk, now with Blackhawk grip. And Ruger does such a nice job fitting these. There's like it's a little bit of a seam there. You can kind of feel a little bit of an edge, but certainly nothing to worry about. Not a sharp edge, not gonna catch that, but just kind of feel it. But I've got a personalized Super Blackhawk now. Let's take it to the range. Here's that Ruger Super Blackhawk, but now with the Blackhawk grip frame. We got 44 Magnums. I'm only gonna shoot a couple rounds just to kind of see how she feels. Got a steel target. I think I like this grip better already. I think that's the way to go.